video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network Video Game Show, episode number 108 for Sunday, September 21st, 2008. I'm Chad. This week, since we're probably going to have a little shorter show because there are people doing housework for their parents, no roll call question, let's just go around and say hi. So, Phil, say hi to the kids.
Hi to the kids.
There you go. And Ivan say, well, okay, hi to the kids as well.
Hi.
To the kid. Okay.
I did. Did you not hear me?
I heard you say it, but you know...
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi to the kids.
This week on the GamerCast Network. On Sarcastic Gamer, what is a DRM and why are people so upset that Spore has it? Tune in to Gamertag Radio for the latest news on all things Xbox. It has begun. Jay and Paris try to figure out how they're going to survive one of the busiest holiday gaming seasons on the next Uncle Gamer Radio. Tune into the Post Game Report to get all the facts. Post game. On the Sarcastic Gamer PlayStation podcast, Wipeout HD has been dated and priced, and Blockbuster has PSN cards. Discover the podcast community that brings you all these great podcasts and more. GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
I'm trying to figure out what this Raptor thing is.
It's another social networking thing here that tracks what you're playing.
I think, but how many of these things do we need? I've got 10 social networking things. I've got every single game you play. If I want to know if somebody's playing an Xbox game, why wouldn't I just log into my Xbox?
You can go to the Xbox page and log into your live account and see who and what they're playing.
If I want to know who's on the Xbox because I want to play something, why wouldn't I just go to the Xbox? Because I'd be right there. Or if I am surfing the net, like Phil said, just look at Xbox.com.
But this one supports lots of games, right?
It's got everything. It's got Xbox, Wii, PlayStation 3, Steam, World of Warcraft, Spore. But I'm failing to see how it gathers all of that data and then combines it into one simple interface. And there is like a download client, but the last thing I need is something running in my system tray. I don't know if that's the key to all of this, because if it is, I'm not using the tool at all.
I'm guessing that's probably what it is. It's probably like, what's that one called?
Xfire?
Oh, yeah.
That works for all the PC games. I'm wondering how the hell it knows you're playing your Wii. Microsoft has a special feed for partner sites where you can get info like who's online and what they're playing for the 360, but Nintendo has never publicized they have a service like that for the Wii.
The only reason I signed up for it was because I remember reading about it earlier, and then Godfrey did send out the invite, so I at least checked it out.
Comes down to, do you really want to join another little social networking thing?
Yeah, I mean, the only one I really do, Twitter's kind of nice because it's nice to post rantings and read other people's rantings, and that's all Twitter really does. I joined Facebook for the sole purpose to hook up with people from my past. I don't do any of the crap that you can do on Facebook, like there's games, mob wars and crap. I don't spend all day on Facebook, but like I said, the Twitter thing is nice. I'm psychotic and I have 8 trillion thoughts going through my brain at any given second, and it's nice to like grab one of them and pull them out and put it into a tweet.
That's what they call it, a tweet.
Yeah.
A tweet, okay.
Yeah, the site is called Twitter, but when you type something in and post it, like what you're doing now, that's a tweet.
Don't your rants have to be very short?
Yeah, they're 140 characters, I think, is the maximum.
That wouldn't work for me. I rant.
Right, I know. Well, and the thing is it's nice because there's a client for my iPhone, so it's nice when I'm sitting there playing my Xbox in between Rock Band songs or something, just check out what people do. But that's the only thing I do. I'm not into the whole social. I have a MySpace account because every once in a while there's a useful MySpace account, and in order to see a lot of them, you have to have your own account.
I started the Facebook thing because someone sent me an invite once, and the only time I ever actually use it is when there's like a beta invite for some game that they have their own Facebook page, and if you become a group member of it, you have a chance of getting into the beta, like I think the upcoming MMO APB. That's one way in, so some use there. But you know what? When you have World of Warcraft as a social networking tool, what more else do you need?
Right.
Next topic.
I play a little bit of Rock Band 2.
And are your thoughts on Rock Band 2 similar to Ivan's? It's basically just Rock Band.
Pretty much. I'm sure everybody knows that everything's locked and you got to play an hour or two, couple hours to unlock stuff. But they put that feature in where you can put in codes to unlock everything.
Oh, don't put the code in. Let me take a quick step back. Rock Band is like how Guitar Hero 1 and 2 used to be. You start off on easy, and you have to play a certain number of songs to unlock medium, and then hard. And then in each of those difficulty settings, you play the easiest songs, and you have to play like 4 out of 5 of them to unlock the next set. And you keep doing that till you get to the very end, which are the hardest songs. So Rock Band's kind of like that in World Tour mode. The way you unlock songs to play in like quick play mode or any other mode is to go through the tour and do some stuff. There's a couple other ways which I found out you can do. But the whole point is you have to unlock the songs as you're playing through different areas in order to be able to play them in like quick play mode. Tour mode's actually kind of hard. You go through, you play the songs, you go to different venues, different cities. I got to a venue in Japan, and the songs that you unlocked and that you had to play were on hard or expert only. And I was doing the whole tour on medium.
Right, that's the one thing. In order to get like more stars and more fans, you have to eventually step up to the next level of difficulty.
Well, they changed it. Rock Band 1, you just couldn't do it unless you played different difficulty levels. Now you can play easy or medium, but it caps you off at the number of fans and money that you get. So you can still do it, but it takes a lot longer for you to advance because you don't get as many fans as you're playing. The bad thing was I got to a point where I got to a couple of songs and you could only play on hard or expert. And unfortunately, they were songs like Metallica's Battery, which if you've ever heard the song or ever even tried to play it, you don't want to start your career playing hard songs with Battery.
There's that progression, but now why shouldn't you use these codes to unlock songs?
There's a code that's the colored buttons. It's like green, red, blue, blue, green, blue, something or another, which will unlock all the songs. But by doing so, you lock yourself out of all of the features of the game. You can't get any achievements. I don't think you can unlock other challenges and stuff.
That kind of sucks.
But the good thing is, and I had posted this on the Rock Band forum thread, I got all pissed off, and I'm like, well, this game is essentially ruined for me. I wanted to play Battery, and I actually wanted to finish the tour mode and unlock all the songs, and I can't do it because I can't play Battery on hard. I can't play easy songs on hard. So look through some forums and stuff. If you do the marathon challenges, it essentially works the way Guitar Hero worked. You have to play 6 songs in a row. The sets increase in difficulty as you go. All of the songs on the disc are in those challenges, and as you play them, you unlock them. But it's all in a row, and it's nice and convenient and compact, and you can stop and start whenever you want. You can save your progress and quit and come back later. So if you did 5 out of 6 songs and then had to go do something, you can quit, come back, and just do the last song. It's a easier way to unlock all the songs. It took me 2 or 3 nights of playing a few sets at a time. So there you go. There's my little rant.
There's your rant. I doubt that's under 150 characters, so you couldn't put that on Twitter.
No, not really.
Next topic.
Blizzard has announced that November 13th is the day that the next expansion for World of Warcraft will be released. This is, of course, Wrath of the Lich King. Looking forward to it?
Here's the thing. I don't think they've announced this, and this to me is more important than the expansion, and that's the version 3 patch. So the patch is going to have all of the stuff they've been talking about minus the new area. The new area is cool, and don't get me wrong, I'm excited for that, Death Knights and that stuff, but the patch is going to have all the cool stuff. It's going to have the new talents, the new spells, the new respecs for all of the different classes. And when the patch comes out and when the expansion comes out, what I'm going to focus on first is getting both of my characters up to level 80 before I really dive into the Death Knight stuff. Because everyone's going to roll a Death Knight on day one. You're going to just see Death Knights everywhere. And although they sound really cool and kind of fun to play, I'm really kind of just more interested in getting my guy up to level 80. That's really what I'm looking forward to.
I know what you're looking forward to. You're looking forward to the barbershops.
Hell yeah. Actually, more than the barbershops, I'm looking for the dance studio. I want to learn new emote dances because I'm really hoping like the Thriller dances in there for my undead priest because that would be funny as hell. So there's a couple different new shops that they're introducing, like useless shops, like the dance studio, which essentially teaches your character a different emote dance. So when you do /dance and you do a little dance, each class has their own little dance that they do. You can learn new dances.
Something else coming to World of Warcraft this Thursday via an unofficial official user add-on is PopCap's Bejeweled. Now, first off here, apparently someone was playing around with the mod tools for the add-ons. He was trying to see what you could do with all the add-on tools. And I guess he made himself a clone of Bejeweled, which he called Besharded. So apparently PopCap, who is the rights owner of Bejeweled, decided to hire him to put in an official version of Bejeweled into World of Warcraft. It's official in that it uses the graphics and terminology from Bejeweled, but it's unofficial in that, like any user add-on, Blizzard is not going to support it. Basically, you can pop up a little version of Bejeweled and play it while you're waiting for friends or waiting for something to pop back into reality. Yes, now World of Warcraft has become a platform for other games, which is very scary.
It's going to be sad when you log into World of Warcraft to play casual games like Bejeweled instead of just playing Bejeweled. I guess it's kind of a nice time killer. So one of the annoying things is when you form a group to do an instance or something and everyone is spread out all over the place and you have to wait for everyone to show up. A couple of things they've done in the past is they have, if you're a leather worker, you can make a leather ball and you can throw the leather ball back and forth. Essentially, it passes the ball to somebody else and puts it in their inventory, and then they can throw it. I mean, there's an animation, there's a ball being thrown, but obviously that has limited fun potential. This is one of those things that seems kind of silly, but it might actually be kind of useful while you're sitting there waiting around.
The worst is flying from point to point, especially when you're going from the furthest point in the north to the furthest point in the south.
Yeah.
And usually I end up just like alt-tabbing out and surfing the web.
That's usually what I do. I've had flight paths that are like 14 minutes long, which is ridiculous. So
I don't understand why they did that. Why don't they have just portals you can walk through to instantly teleport from point A to point B?
I think it's the same reason why they make you walk or ride a mount everywhere, is just so that it takes longer, so that you're spending more time in game. If everything was instantaneous, everything would go quicker.
Oh, and we can't have that.
No, that's the point. If you could just portal everywhere, like in Titan Quest or something, that would be too quick.
That'd be so sweet.
Right, it would be sweet, but yeah, I don't ever see that happening. If you're a mage, you can portal, or if you're a warlock, you can summon people, but other than that, you have to find some sort of transportation. You got to get on the public transit.
At least you don't have to sit next to a bum.
Right. The other cool thing, real quick, is something that they're going to put in the expansion of the new patch. I haven't heard much on it, is like riding other people's mounts. So if you had an epic flying mount and you had somebody who was a lower level who couldn't fly, you could kind of give them a ride somewhere.
Now, can you go around and offer the little kid candy to come onto your mountain? Sorry, no.
Jeez.
No, but it would be fun to take them to the top of a mountain or one of the places in Netherstorm or something where you have to fly to get there and then just leave them.
Next topic.
So do we care that Metallica's latest album, Death Magnetic, sounds better in Guitar Hero than on the actual CD?
Oh, really? How did they manage to mess that up?
Other than the album kind of sucking in general, I've heard that the audio quality kind of sucks. And then some guy did some tests and figured out, when you actually play the Guitar Hero version, it actually is better sounding.
Over recent times on CDs, people are trying to make the CD louder. Most studios and record companies want louder CDs. Well, to do that, you have to kind of decrease the dynamic range of things. Things are going to get louder. Something has to give. I actually do something like this when I do the leveling of voices. I kind of compress and expand, but not to the degree they are doing it.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if you turn the radio up really, really loud to the highest levels, it's really loud, but it doesn't sound as good. Usually it's because your speakers or something aren't as good. I mean, that's a very rudimentary explanation for playing loud. You have to give up something. And in this case, if you crank your stereo up to a point where your speakers really can't handle that level of volume, you lose quality even though it's louder than hell.
Yeah, so the explanation here is that when the devs got the audio tracks from Metallica for Guitar Hero, they didn't get the finalized mix.
Which makes sense. They get the master tracks. They're already split up in the vocals, the guitar, the bass, the drum. They don't get everything mixed together, because if they did that, they'd have to just split it all back out anyway, which is why on the earlier guitar playing games, you'd see, this song as made famous by, because it's not easy to split those things out, or it's impossible. So instead, they just did a cover of the song and had it that way. So when they got the Metallica stuff, they got the master tracks, which hadn't been mixed into one track yet. It was still split. So they didn't get that mixed together and then the volume pumped up.
Yeah, so what now people are trying to do with at least Metallica is they're trying to rip the audio from the Guitar Hero version so they can listen to it. One other piece of Guitar Hero news. So there was a rumor that they're going to maybe do a Guitar Hero Jimi Hendrix. And there might be some truth to this rumor because Activision has said that next year they plan to double the number of SKUs of Guitar Hero. And there are 12 SKUs coming out this year for Guitar Hero. There are the 6 for Aerosmith across the PlayStation 2, the Wii, the blah, 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 blah. The one for the DS on tour, and I guess that one has a follow-up coming up called Decades. And then there's 4 for World Tour, one for the PS2, one for the PS3, one for the 360, and one for the Wii. So in 2009, they want 24 SKUs across all platforms, and in 2010, they want 36.
Essentially, they want to make 6 games in 2009, one for each of the 6 major console versions. That's one every 2 months, for God's sake. They may be able to do 36 in 1 year, but they're not going to be able to keep that pace or grow in the following years. If they do, they're going to be so oversaturated. You know, they're going to have this timeline for here's what we're going to do, and in 2020, we're going to have 155 SKUs in 2000 whatever. They're never going to make it to that point because people are going to get tired of it. But, I mean, they could do all kinds of stuff. They already have the 80s collection. They could spit out a whole crap ton of those. They don't have to necessarily do Guitar Hero Jimi Hendrix or Guitar Hero Cream or...
If they did too many specific bands, I think that would be too big of a loss for them. Not that many people like Metallica, not that many people like Jimi Hendrix. I don't know how Aerosmith sold.
The Aerosmith one apparently sold better than Aerosmith's last album.
Wow.
If you align the launches of each, it's selling better right now than the last album did. Now, I guess the flip side here is why don't they just put out like massive expansion packs over XBLA?
That's kind of why I have a brand loyalty to Rock Band now instead of Guitar Hero. I kind of like the way Rock Band's been doing it. We'll release a game or 2 a year, and then we'll just spit out downloadable content all over the damn place. You can pick and choose what you want to play. Like, I haven't been downloading a lot of the stuff because it's not my kind of music.
Now, here's the other statement from Activision. They have said one other thing. They are pursuing a subscription model for Guitar Hero downloads. Again, they haven't said much, but it sounds like you would pay a monthly fee and you'd be able to download a certain number of songs per month.
I don't know how well that's going to work since nothing like that is being done right now on Xbox Live. So they would have to work very closely, obviously, with Microsoft in order to pull that off.
I would have to say if anyone's going to do it, it would be one of the Rock Band or Guitar Heroes to do something like that first, because those are huge franchises. I mean...
And you got Activision and EA, the 2 biggest publishers in the video game industry. So even not so much Rock Band or Guitar Hero, it's those 2 publishers. They're going to have enough weight to pull something like that off.
Yeah, but that could be a big double-edged sword. You're either going to be very successful or you're going to piss off a lot of people by doing that.
The right way would be to offer a subscription service and a pay-per-song service, so that you're keeping the current model, which people don't necessarily seem to have a problem with, and introduce the subscription service for people who want to do that. And that way you're really not pissing anyone off. You're giving them options.
Since we're talking about this, I noticed when I got my Rock Band 2 that they offer 20 free downloads.
It's not available yet. I read somewhere on Joystick or something that they said something about should be available in the fall. But, I mean... fall is fast approaching, so it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months.
Tomorrow, technically.
Wow, really? Damn, yeah. It's anywhere from tomorrow to 2 months.
Next topic.
We have to give away a copy here of Too Human, and this was the contest where you have to describe the most useless superpower and how you would use it to annoy the world.
Is anyone decent at science here? Because one of these guys says the ability to sense the presence of nitrogen gas. Wouldn't you always sense that? Isn't there nitrogen in the atmosphere? I mean, that would be the epitome of useless. That would be like sensing the presence of oxygen.
Actually, our air is mostly nitrogen, so yes.
Well, see, there you go. So you would always be sensing the presence of nitrogen.
So, in theory, very useless, but I doubt it would be annoying to people.
Okay, so that's the thing we need to think about is 1 useless, 2 annoying. Got to be both, not one or the other.
I got to give props here to Greater Dad, whose was basically, I'm Captain Apathy and I don't care. I like that. It's just not really annoying. I mean,
Yeah, it's not annoying though.
so our winner here is going to be Travis and his magnetized Cheerios. My superpower would be the ability to make the breakfast cereal Cheerios, and only that brand, magnetic. Tiny bits of crunchy oats would immediately be attracted to the nearest source of metal. People wouldn't be able to get breakfast off their spoons and into their mouths. Boxes of Cheerios would be stuck forever to store shelves, and anyone dumb enough to walk past a bowl of magnetic Cheerios while holding a VCR tape would rue that day. It's genius in its simplicity. You know, I doubt many people actually know what VCR tape is anymore.
That's true. All right, so change that to your iPod. Don't take your iPod with a hard drive in it anywhere near it, because that would also ruin your day.
We have a new contest.
Woohoo!
We are giving away a copy of Facebreaker for the Xbox 360, courtesy of our friends at EA. Here's the contest then. So you must send in to the mailbag a story of breaking something.
Not a made-up story. A story that happened to you or somebody you know.
Something that's broken and somehow it must be related to video games.
And you're going to get points taken off if it's a Red Ring of Death story, unless it's really good.
Yes, it better not be my Xbox 360 broke.
Yeah. No sympathy from this group.
Make sure it's something heart-wrenching, because you know what? The more heart-wrenching, the funnier it is.
That's right. We tear down, not build up.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 108 for Sunday, September 21st, 2008. Any ham sandwiches or shattered dream pies?
Ham sandwich to Mike, who wanted to visit us at PAX during our panel, but was too shy to. Although I don't know why, because we're a bunch of jackholes. But anyway, thanks for the nice thoughts. He told us in a note that we are his favorite podcast and he enjoys listening to us, and thanks for doing such a good job. Thanks, Mike, for sending in the note. Next time, hopefully you can stop by and say hi to us.
Since I've been marathon leveling myself in Warcraft, I've come across some quests that the quest maker should be given a shattered dream pie for causing me to basically eliminate races of gorillas. There was this one quest where you have to get one. All you need is one aged sinew from a Southgate Vale gorilla. I spent an hour killing gorillas. I had to have taken out at least 70 or 80.
Yeah, that awesome 1% drop. Yeah, we talked about this last week with the ears and the eyeballs and the teeth.
I found a more ridiculous one than the ears and the eyeballs, actually. One made sense. I had to kill raptors and get their hearts. Every raptor dropped a heart. That was fine. Another quest was get these heads from these guys. Not every guy killed gave a head.
So the eyes and the ears, my theory was they could be prosthetics or whatever. Yeah, you're not really going to have a prosthetic head.
No, you're not.
What are the Browns doing? Last I heard, they were losing by like 2 touchdowns.
They lost 28-10.
So there you go. Share a dream pie to the Browns and the Browns fans. Another year. Okay, we've got a few announcements. First, don't forget about the GamerCast Network gaming nights on Fridays. Go check out the forums at gamercastnetwork.com/forums for all the details. Second, we have the new contest for a copy of Facebreaker for the 360. Get your entries into the mailbag by October 5th. If you've been visiting the GamerCast Network site, you've been seeing announcements for the upcoming Extra Life campaign by Sarcastic Gamer to raise money and awareness for the cause of pediatric cancer. To get more details on how to participate, go to extralife.sarcasticgamer.com. We're coming up on the deadline for the 2008 Podcast Awards. If you'd like to nominate the video game show, we'd appreciate it. You can get to the nomination page by going to podcastawards.com. Finally, we have the Emilio shirts from PAX available for order. There's a link in the show notes to the site where you can see the shirt and place an order if you want. And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org. You can Skype us at Video Game Show or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long distance call and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
That's pretty sad when you log into World of Warcraft. Take 2. That's pretty sad when you're going to log into World of Warcraft. Damn.
Take 3.